Hello everybody, welcome to week 43, and today I will be guiding you through the Nightfall. Now, for these Nightfalls, as usual with my previous Nightfall runs, I am using no raid, no exotic, no ascended gear. So before we go any further, I am using the Revelator, Split Shifter Pro in Void, and Pacifier 10 in Solar. Now my armor is all faction armor, so you can pick what works for you. First area we come to, we are not in a darkness zone, so it is okay to do your bugs here. As you can see, I'm not too worried just yet. You can simply go ahead and take your time running through this part. I lost track of it. So the first room is not too big of a deal. We now come to our first
I'll try to open that gate.
Zone. I personally like to start up here and take out whatever I can before heading down below. If you need to, you can retreat to the doorway that you first come in. The first wave consists primarily of major knights. Just make sure not to get careless and you will be fine. Now, as you can tell, second wave is heavily consisting of acolytes. And again, not too big of a problem. The majority of your problem will be from getting careless. Now, more than any other type of enemy, these acolytes are the ones that can easily cost you your Nightfall. So just keep your distance and just pick off enemies as you see them. So we are now getting wizards, which tells us we are nearing the end of the second wave. As you can see, as soon as they get focused on you, they will attack as much as they can. And as you can see, wizards are dealt with without too big of an issue.
Shouldn't be long.
Okay, so we are now almost done with the second wave. Now the last part of the second wave, as you can tell, consists of thralls and acolytes. There are a few knights, but they are not as big of an issue. And another thing to remember is there is generally a knight above you, and so long as you stay tucked away, he is usually not an issue. step out for some ammo real quick. This is the end of this last wave. The wizards are the biggest threat here. However, if you are using a solar machine gun, they are dealt with quite quickly. Which I failed to kill anything with. And once the wizards are dead, the biggest threats in this section are done.
Got it! The gate's opening.
With this section done, I am not going to put any more effort into what's left. This section, not too hard at all. Just make sure you are aware of where your key threats are. Main threat for this area is the knight. But again, he is not too difficult to deal with.
Sounds like we're getting closer.
Now this next section, you can simply choose to skip. Which is personally what I am going to do. Knights will generally not aggro you until you invite them, so they can be safely run past. I am going to kill everything
Well, at least
that
it's
comes
cleaned up.
at me from the left side. I'm not going to engage Fogoth just yet. Big threat for this section is the Boomer Knights at the bottom below this little section. That was primarily to get that Boomer Knight at the top to stop this. Like I said, I'm taking out every threat on the left side before I do anything else. Now, right now, I am being a lot more aggressive than probably I should be. I am actually going to run away again. In this section, he really should be taking a lot slower than I am. As I said, we're going to clear everything on the left side before engaging Fogoth. So now that key threats are down, that Boomer Knight up top is generally not too big of a threat. So I'm simply just going to go around to the ammo that is here. Now, you are going to want to hide as much as you can during this Nightfall. Because with the Void Burn modifier, Fogoth is an extremely big threat. Which is the reason I chose a fusion rifle as opposed to a sniper rifle. As it will allow me to deal damage to Fogoth without having to actually expose myself to try and get a critical shot on him. As you can see, Fogoth can easily deal enough damage to take you out with Nightfall. Now, the only issue you are going to have with this section is the dropship that apparently is spawning now. As you can see, when we first entered this room, we did not focus on any enemies on the other side of the room. The reason for that is if you do not focus on any enemies that are on the other side of the room, you will not be attacked from that side of the room. In addition, you will not spawn any enemies on this side, making this dropship the only real threat from fighting on this side. And as you can see, using the fusion rifle allows me to deal damage to Fogoth without having to actually hit him with a critical shot. Now, you may see enemies on that side of the room. They are generally not too big of an issue. They will likely not come this way. I will, however, use my super on Fogoth. Now, this section is the section where if you have special ammo synthesis, you will be using them here. Although I was hoping not that I would get an ammo replenish, but that does not seem to be happening. And Fogoth is right there. Can see, fusion rifle will allow me to deal some pretty good damage to Fogoth without exposing myself to his attack. So as you can see, from this point on, it is basically just running back and forth until Fogoth is done. as you can see, perfectly
Finally,
soloable,
the
perfectly
abomination has
doable
been destroyed.
without
The Vanguard will be
needing
grateful.
any of the high-end
A creature
gear.
of the dark has been slain, and our world spared another atrocity. But how many more hive abominations are still out there, growing among
And
the
that
darkness?
is
I
how
fear we may
you
find out all too
soloed this
soon.
week's Nightfall for week 43. Now I will be running this Nightfall again using both a hunter. No, the hunter is what I just did. And I will be running this Nightfall again with a warlock and then with a titan.